1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, that is what happens when you say 1, 2 to a drummer.
Good afternoon.
Hi,
Hi,
Jackson.
are you streaming? Can I walk into the stream again?
Yes. Yes, that's why we have a new voice chat channel called the Stream
I did think
Team.
that someone had changed it and it was my fault again.
Yeah, I mean, like, what happened yesterday was a little bit regrettable. At least this time you are slightly.
At least I know I'm talking to people. Hello, people.
I mean, you're not talking to people because there's nobody watching the stream.
You don't know about the future.
It's true. Someday, far in the future, people may find the archive of the stream on YouTube, and this bit will be cut off the intro because I haven't started playing the game
cut
yet.
it off yet.
Like, it's live, but it's just waiting on the loading screen while I prepare a tweet about how I'm going live.
I will.
And bam. Let's Xeno some gears. I've got to stop using that as a catchphrase. It doesn't even make sense.
It's better than Let's Xeno some sagas.
It's marginally better than Let's Xeno some sagas. I don't think it's.
Xenogears, here no gears.
Here no Xenos. I think I'm about to walk into a boss fight, so.
Good luck.
I'm Yep, there we go. I'm rescuing the princess. Yep, of course that ends up on Twitter.
I'm glad you're looking.
I have everything I could possibly need open on my desktop, one way or another. I have TweetDeck, I have a walkthrough, I have my emulator, I have OBS, I have Discord, I have my Hitbox dashboard, and now I can't find the right window. There we go. I have somewhere in my bookmarks a file, a website that claims to completely explain Xenogears, which I will read eventually, I hope. It's very long.
Yeah, you should finish the game first.
Probably. And maybe also read the complete works of Wagner.
Yeah, I've got to get that Wagner in you in order to understand the Xenogears.
But in fairness, like, my parents are huge opera fans, and as a result, the complete plot of the Ring Cycle is kind of already burned into the back of my memory. There are worse things, but also it's such video game nonsense from the middle of the 19th century. It's great.
How far through Xenogears are you at this stage?
About 8 hours, 8-9 hours, I think. So
just
a bit over a tenth. About a tenth of the way through. I think things are starting to happen though, because like now I'm rescuing the princess and she's plottish. Who's that? That's Devon.
Hello.
Hi, Devon.
It's the other Xeno person at present.
Truly, we are all Xeno persons.
Truly, this is the age of Xenodragons.
I think a Xeno Dragons game would be a lot better than this. Oops.
The Xenodragons game is just fucking Xenoblade, because that has dragon-like things in it. It's basically just a fantasy game.
I think I'm gonna lose this fight because I didn't heal. And this guy does, like, Yep, I can't heal fast enough for this. Incoming, game over. Oh, he missed.
I guess I can't explore any more of this continent right now. Either that or I can, and it's just really hard to figure out how to climb these cliffs.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm like a chapter out from getting my mech, so that'll be fun.
The progress you are making with this game is frankly alarming.
I mean, it's just raw force.
I know, it's still alarming.
23 hours put in. This is what I did with Tales of Xillia 2. I just put in 10 hours a day because I had fuck all else to do.
In fairness, you did it more or less with Zesty as well. That was a good week to play a 50-hour game.
Yeah. Kinda wish I had the stamina to pull it off with stuff that wasn't, like, new-ish. Because I just kind of burn out on stuff that's not immediately relevant. But I figure if I can burn through this by the end of the month, I can talk about it in relation to Xenogears as well.
Yeah.
Also, I just really like this game so far. It's really fun running around.
That's good. And if it's making you happier than Xenoblade 1 did, that's...
I was hesitant about Xenoblade 1, but then it didn't do anything to make me feel not hesitant by the end, so I was just kind of disappointed.
Oh, is that... can I hear it in the
Yeah,
background?
I can't exactly adjust my volume on my monitor that I'm using, so...
Ah, fair. Why are your heal... You didn't even heal me! I'm gonna die.
Good luck, Bart. Does nothing.
I think it's like an attack up or something, but it's... Yeah, I went into this unhealed, and I'm underleveled, and it's bad.
Yeah.
Rip. Let's try that again. Why does it take so long to check memory cards in this particular game on this emulator? Right, this time we'll remember that health is low. Oops. Heal myself with lots of jerky. There we go.
I love jerky strats. It's such a weird thing to just get tons of.
Particularly, like, as fresh meat from the monsters you were fighting in the first level.
Assorted.
It's like, jerky is not fresh meat.
I guess that explains why they were so easy to beat. They were already cooked.
Yeah. I mean, like, we have definitely played JRPGs where already cooked enemies would still be enemies. Right, Ramsus. I do wonder if that's supposed to be Ramses and it just got localized wrong.
Would not surprise me.
That's definitely the attack to go with, because it's 4 times as much as the thing I'm trying to grind at the moment. Also, I appear to have poisoned him or something.
Okay, that's... I love when you get moves that just add status effects without explaining anything.
Yeah. I just got poison in FF13, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, one of those games where they genuinely want you to actually use poison to kill some bosses, quite clearly.
Whenever I played 13, I was always just using all the debuffs all the time.
Saboteurs are good. I barely used them my first playthrough, and everything took
Yeah, you
hours,
need 'em.
but saboteurs do make things
You
quicker.
need them. You need
Sorry?
them.
Yeah. Oh wow, Ramses is reminded of someone from his past by Faye. What a surprise. This is my surprised voice. Wait a second, these are mechs. This is somebody beating up mechs.
Wow.
It's somebody who's got the same hair as Dan. That's weird. Enough talk. Battling will reveal the truth about you. This is such an anime. Do I have double X with you yet? No.
I think it's kind of funny that, like, Xenogears... Square knew that in their games the monks were always kind of balanced weird, and then they just made one a protagonist in this. Because you don't have to worry about weapons, so you can just throw them into all sorts of weird situations.
Yeah. I haven't been able to equip the wedding dress to him yet, though. Seriously, like, if you lose the tournament fight to Dan, you get the wedding dress as a reward, because it's Dan's sister that you were trying to help with the marriage of in the start of the game. Don't heal him! God damn it.
That is some nonsense. Even though it's like 2/3 of an attack worth of healing. It's just...
Yeah.
The principle is kind of... It's rude.
Yeah. The amount of movement they put into the battle camera in this is really good. what? That was a surprise. So I'm the son of somebody important who beats up mechs. Okay. Also, she's the least princess-looking princess I've ever seen in a JRPG. Oops.
Look at footage of Xenogears. I'm gonna go
Sorry,
look
what?
at footage of Xenogears.
You could tune
I'm
into
gonna
the
tune
stream.
into the stream. I'm gonna do this.
Hitbox.tv/eatthepen. I like how we just escaped, and the guy's saying, "Don't let those people in here again, not get them back."
Well, this is a surprisingly short delay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Hitbox is good about that. Okay, so now I have to go search for a pair of glasses that got tossed out to sea.
This game looks really old in a really nice way.
It's very old. Like,
I mean, it looks
it's
older than it is just because of this. Like, it comes from an age where anime hadn't, decided what characters look like. Like those characters could be from the 80s in their designs. Whereas I feel like after 2002, anime faces all look the same.
I don't know, maybe?
There is definitely a shift at some point with the way anime faces look.
I don't know, I guess I haven't paid enough attention.
That's only because I've been watching a bunch of anime lately.
Yeah.
But that's my stuff.
Wait, are we seriously going to get an airship at the moment?
Oh, this shot! I have to play this game. Look at this. Look at this thing.
Actually, and I wouldn't ordinarily recommend this game to many people, but you would love Chrono Cross.
Yeah, I want to play Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross.
Don't play Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger's not good.
I'm not
But
going
you
to
would
play
love
Chrono
Chrono
Cross
Cross.
without playing Chrono Trigger.
Like,
Oh, this game.
I mean, I've played Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross.
And they are distinctly unrelated experiences.
For sure, but I would want the context. You know me, I'm going to go do everything because that's just how I am.
You will forget everything from Chrono Trigger that you need to know in order to understand Chrono Cross, even if you play them back to back. I guarantee it, because the details.
The plot. It's just I just want to know. I just like going through things in order.
Fair enough.
But no, this game looks stunningly good, and I would love to. You're playing on emulator, right? I can just get a hold of that. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, it's on EPSXE. I got the ROMs from Emu Paradise, I think.
Emu Paradise has a lot of stuff, including a lot of like PlayStation 2 stuff.
I need to.
A lot of really obscure shit, actually. Like games I've never heard of, but somehow ended up on my list of like things I need to play, were on that site.
Yeah, get used for, like, jump is on Y for some reason.
It's an Elder Scrolls.
And the menu is on X. I say Y, this is my 360 pad, so...
Yeah. I have a DualShock 3, and it's working pretty well.
Yeah. My DualShock 3 is dying. Oh, there we go. That was just a really long hold on a completely frozen screen, while presumably some footsteps went past. That I couldn't hear because Devon's game was...
Is it that noticeable because I can probably tweak the.
It's not like loud. It's
super
just that
noticeable.
because I've got the game sound.
It sounds like it's the soundtrack to.
Oh, I think Jackson, you need to mute the stream.
I quickly turned up the volume of the stream to check if it was coming through on the stream, but then the stream came through, and I was like, "Oh no! Oh no! Mistakes have been made by me."
It's not as bad as like my entire first stream that I did for 2 hours had like echo on echo on echo because I hadn't twigged that
on OBS.
Because I had the hitbox window open as well to check the stream quality, and I had the sound set to minimum, like the volume set to minimum, but it wasn't muted, so the sound data was circling through the system.
Oh no!
Somehow, it was bad. But I had to redo that episode anyway because some other reason. I got something wrong. That was the fabled first Resonance of Fate stream where I just spent the entire session working through the tutorial, which is rubbish.
Yeah, I don't think that tutorial really does much for anyone, and you muddle through the rest of the game without knowing about a third of the mechanics, or knowing that you could swap between characters and they didn't have a fixed turn order.
Yeah, finding that out in the final dungeon was a thing. I was not happy. But I have already talked to Jackson today about how wonderful Resonance of Fate's final dungeon is.
Yeah. Okay, that's all my precious minerals spent. Now to go back out into the field and find that fucking cave I was looking for.
I love that this game is old enough that we're actually doing the thing where a character goes, "I'm the one who caused the destruction of your village and I couldn't bear to tell you," and then the other character goes, "Yeah, I knew," because it was completely transparently obvious to the player. But the game still thinks that it could surprise you with the character knowing. Wait, the solution is that Faye is too guilt-ridden still? Ugh. This is getting tiresome, Faye. We've been at this 10 hours.
10 hours is like Luke going and blowing up a city in Tales of the Abyss, and that was roughly same scale, but actual, like...
I'm still sure that's less than 10 hours.
Like, maybe you just blasted through the intro faster than I did, but that sure didn't...
Possibly. They might have chopped it a bit on DS. I don't know. Like, if that section has been so unpopular, and I think it has, I can well imagine them just chopping bits.
Yeah, it wouldn't...
It's pretty rare that I get through content faster than you.
Yeah. I do want to eventually pick up Abyss for 3DS and find out if they did any major changes, or if I was just working through it slow because I was in a bad state of mind.
Yeah, maybe. You might have been being more thorough. I was blasting, but I'm usually really slow even then.
A cool thing that this game has is an aerial camera where you just toss this little drone up in the air and you can get a bird's eye view and look around.
Oh, that's really good! God damn! I'm gonna buy it now, except I can't afford it, and Twilight Princess HD came out today.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, I came home from work, and the little home light on my Wii U gamepad was flashing. I was like, "Oh, what's that?" and pressed the button, and it came up, "Twilight Princess HD, buy it!" I was like, "I can't, but I want it so much."
It's okay. You already have too many games.
That was a cruel moment. But I could get through Twilight Princess HD in a day.
No, you.
It's not a long game.
You could not get through. I guess Zelda games know what you're doing and go fast.
I know Twilight Princess really well. It's probably my favorite Zelda game.
And it also probably has a bunch of quality of life
8-9 times.
Because that's what they did with Wind Waker.
Yeah, they chopped the
Did they?
tier hunting by a quarter.
Nice.
So yeah, it probably would take me more than a day because I'd probably spread it out a bit, but it would take me not very much time.
Oh yeah, some of the enemy designs in this game include 3-story tall zebra horses with horns, and also twirling birds with tubas on their head.
That's some JRPG stuff.
Also, there's a really nice mix of like enemy levels that are not just like, oh, this is the level 1 through 10 zone.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's
and a lot of them aren't even really hostile.
Holy shit! The music just kicked back in, and it's literally just Shinra headquarters. That's so good! Oh, man. So, like, the one spoiler I know for Xenogears is to do with Faye and Ellie, so... Oh, she's not going to stay here. Okay. I thought she was going to stay here. The music stopped again. Damn it.
Oh, there's a cave down here. That's where I need to go.
Find the Ubisoft game content. The mech animations are still great.
That mech is walking with a
Also,
purpose.
this is... That's a stompy walk. Do I have control? Nope. We're doing a launch. We're doing a standing launch.
I am still running around in an EVA Unit 01 colored suit of armor.
That's pretty good. I'm loving, by the way, that the rank and file here in this scene have all lined up, and Ellie is the only one with hair. Like, all the others are clearly wearing helmets, and Ellie is just the only distinctive character model. I wonder if we might be seeing her again.
Oh god, what am I doing with my afternoon?
FF4.
Oh shit, right.
Presumably.
No, currently I'm just going through Amazon and adding various Blu-rays to my wish list. I can't afford any of them, obviously.
Yeah, well, that's what wishlist is for, isn't it?
But I'm like, wonder if it's 2016. Surely anime is affordable on home format. No, it's not. No.
No. Yeah, I'm dreading, like, the one anime that I care about getting a copy of still is Den Coil. I'm dreading that coming out because, like, it's 26 episodes, I think, and that's gonna hurt.
Which depends, because, like, Kill the Kill is 3 Blu-ray sets for £25.
Wow.
And
Goodness.
in my head, I feel like, no, the way it should be is a season, which a season of anime to me is 25 episodes. That's one box set. Done.
Yeah.
Nope. Season nowadays is 13 episodes. Because they actually go by season.
I'm just a classical boy.
Yep. I have spent at least 11 of my 25 hours so far just running away from enemies that I am like 30 levels below.
So it really is like FF12 then.
Yeah, except they're everywhere, and like there's...
Yeah. FF12 is very carefully curated, but it lets you go into the 30 level plus areas, which I always enjoy. It's like the only game that I enjoy being hard.
Oh, no, that's a Grex. I don't want to fuck with that guy.
Don't fuck with the Grex. Don't fuck with the Grex.
Is that telling you that we're not doing Xenogears for abnormal mapping?
Where?
On the twits. On the twits.
Yes.
In fact, it's a bad game to do for a
I'm
monthly
never
podcast.
Where the hell are you taking me, you stupid waypoint system? I want to go in the cavern. Where are you going? This is not the way. My favorite part of this so far is that you get a waypoint system from a Nopon, who's like the little mascot character guy. His name is...
Speaking of little mascot character guys.
Choo Choo.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, it's basically just a ball of light that tells you where to go. Like to call from Sonic Adventure.
Where am I going?
That was a sharp 180-degree turn. Why did you go to that point?
Ah. Oh, that's right. For some reason, the mascot thing is blocking my entry to the bridge, so I can't start the journey home. Crew quarters. Is this the crew quarters? If it is, I should take a rest. Well, damn it. Shit, where is the professor? We just left him behind in the capital.
Oh, fuck, that's where the cave is.
He's a couple houses over. I'll give you your first Pokemon. For the
Wait,
professor
what?
is. Keep up with the verbal shit.
Oh. I have like played half an hour of Pokemon ever in my life.
And that's the half an hour while you meet the professor.
No, I couldn't find the professor.
Okay, evidently.
A giant Brontosaurus just punted me while it was trying to drink water. Goddamn.
That's pretty good. That's gonna be a FF15 thing, actually, I think. Wait, do I get to name the fucking thing? I get to name the mascot? No good can come of this. It's called Choo Choo. The rest of this stream is just now going to be me trying to think of the best shitpost name.
I'm probably gonna name it Poshul. Because of Chrono Cross.
Yeah, that's a viable alternative. I should call it Jackson, shouldn't I?
Oh,
You've probably earned that.
you.
It's
All
happening.
right. I'm just a little dog.
Yeah, pink dog with a like misty
I'm a
ponytail
cute
thing.
fucking dog. I would not accept being named if I was a lesser dog.
This D-pad's so bad. Oh, I don't quite have the letters to do Jackson Chew. Apparently it's female. So there you go. Apparently you're in love with Faye. Oh dear.
And there is the item I need. Cool.
Getting set up for my recording later.
Oh, is that the Metal Gear Solid 3?
No, that's gotta be published next. No, it's a video. We are going to be returning to Mario and playing Mario
Oh.
Land.
Jolly good. Please get out of the way. There we go. So now... and I can't get the loot from Choo Choo because I didn't do a thing earlier in the walkthrough. So now I have to go back to the bridge. And we can set off. What? Guide to the next location starts with the ether doubler sold here for 38,000 G is incredible if you can afford it. I have 9,800.
That's a lot of G.
Uh-huh. Them big G.
Oh my god.
Oh? Has a thing happened?
So, Tatsu had like the dorky, like, Coke bottle glasses. And now he has Kamina shades. From fucking Gurren Lagann.
Find a lone tree in the desert as a sign of where the road is buried. Okay.
I can't believe he got the shades.
I think this is Nissan. Where is this tree? No. Oh, maybe that's Nissan. I don't think so then. I like that this robot's attack is just to trip mech up, jump on it.
I mean, it works.
True.
I mean, in a fashion.
But actually, no, it
does
doesn't.
zero damage.
It did no damage at all, actually.
God, these are called Neo-Tin Robos.
Uh-huh.
In fact, that attack is so bad, it damages itself.
I think that was only because it missed.
I mean, it always does that. It always misses.
I'm going to go, so I go prepare for my sister returning. Have
Okay.
a good rest of the stream, everyone. This game still looks great.
It's alright.
Look at those fucking mechs. Do you see the mechs right there? Look at them. Look at the fucking mechs. Goodbye, my friends.
I don't... see you later. I have no idea where I'm going.
I kind of got stuck for, like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes when I got to Dazil. And everyone and their brother was like, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't go off into the desert alone. And the only way to progress was to go off into the desert alone. That's a
Yeah.
little silly.
It's not the best game for signposting, but, like, it's not so bad given its age.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a lone tree somewhere in this desert. But there just isn't. Oh, that's Dazzle, okay. It's not where I want to go. Nope.
And now I am helping a small creature make a hat to convince humans to buy from this caravan.
That's a JRPG sort of a thing.
Yep. I need to gather a bunch of crap. Oh, great. That's the least enjoyable part of this game, where I just have to traverse the entire continent and pick up every glowing bit and bob I can fucking see and hope that the RNG decides that it wants to give me the things that I need.
Uh-huh. Ah, there's a tree. That's barely in the desert at all.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's really not a helpful tip. In the desert, and by that we mean the desert and maybe anything around it.
Right on the edge of the desert, out of sight of everywhere, and in the opposite direction from where you spawn facing, there's a tree. So Citan is also not from the surface originally. That's a surprise. This is my surprised voice.
I really need to figure out how to get my Wii U captured so I can stream some of this because the environments are really cool.
It does look great in video footage and stuff.
And I haven't gotten the mech yet, but I have a sneaking suspicion that running around in a mech will also feel cool.
I think driving around in a mech will feel
Yeah. Running around is surprisingly satisfying, and I say surprisingly because after how the first game handled, I don't know if Monolith could handle making a game feel decent. And everyone died.
Whoops. So there are two characters here who clearly know the entire plot of this game and everything that's relevant to come, and they're deciding to keep secrets from me. Great.
Yep.
Sorry, Dory. What the hell? But why are you saying sorry, Dory?
I agree with Leroy's assessment that this game probably had two translators. One that was not very good and one that was decent for the era.
It's possible.
Certainly two editors at least, if they got that much attention.
Where are we going, and what are we supposed to do? And here's another extremely pretty town map. I like how we've rescued this famous woman and immediately taken her back to her hometown in the assumption that nobody's going to come and just kidnap her again.
Goodness. So do you think Xenogears is the sort of game that will play that completely straight, or go, no, she's just gonna stay here for now?
I can believe that she'll just be allowed to stay here for now. I don't know, maybe we'll have to rescue her again.
I don't think either way would particularly surprise me.
Yeah.
I love basically single-handedly fueling the entire military industry complex on Mira with my mining infrastructure. Good grief.
What is this place? The inn is full, but they're giving out special herb tea as a compromise.
Reduced weight a bit, huh?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna Google that because weight stats are always kind of curious. Character weight. Question 3. What does weight do? As near as anyone can tell, nothing.
I didn't think there was a weight stat.
It is said that high weight increases strength at the expense of speed, and that low weight does the opposite, but in all the testing anyone has done, there was no noticeable effect.
Square in the 90s.
Although having high or low weight does change your appearance when looking into the mirror of truth in the Bekeladavik Festival or the similar mirror in Snowfield Hideout. So it'll make you look fat, I guess. That's the 90s.
That's... Yeah, although I believe they'd still do something like that today, to be honest. They'd code it better, but, like, it would still be terrible.
Yeah, probably. Man, I really liked the design of all these, like, laser or electric swords.
It's a usually pretty safe bet for design.
Yeah. And then there's some of them that just look like a Minecraft mod.
It is nice, like, one thing that's nice about this game is that there's some architecture involved in it. Like, in a way that earlier games with this aesthetic wouldn't have had, because they would all have been just square SNES games. Yeah. Square geometrically and square by developer, I suppose.
A cute thing is that if you use, like, you can just dump a bunch of, like, minerals into companies so they get better stuff, but also if you want to be cheap, you can just use their equipment, and you going around using certain brands will get them more R&D stuff because you give them more attention.
That's pretty cool.
It's not really noticeable after like your first batch of stuff, though.
Ah.
Like I was using the Sakuraba Industries set, and
That guy gets
yeah,
everywhere.
he does. And like then I unlocked the thing that was like, oh yeah, now you can contribute to arms manufacturers, and it got him a free level just from like the first 15 or like 10 hours of the game.
Leveling up by engaging in the arms trade.
Yep.
That's some mainstream video game shit.
Well, I am only a blade. That is the
It's true.
second faction I'm a part of. And I can customize my base with different colors. And every room has a different array of purples and blues.
Oh man, the Margie, the princess character, has just got back to the nuns who raised her, and they're all being really nice to her, and she's like, "Can't you tell me off a bit? This is weird." That's cute.
Also, we have hollow figure projectors. So every model in the game you can just pull up. Like if you've had a weapon and you just want to show it off, you can just have a weapon in hollow figure.
On display in
Yeah.
your base. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. We interrupted their hymn halfway through, and now they're just going to pick up where they left off.
Actually, I guess you have to earn your figures. But whatever. Oh wow, that's a lady I have only met once, and one of the shots of her in a cutscene was staring at her butt, which she has because alien butt.
Of course.
JRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I am just going to have Kamina Glass's Tatsu sitting there for everyone to see forever. I also really like how they did the whole achievements thing with the online component. It's you don't get just a full list. It unlocks stuff as your squad members unlock stuff and reveals like what you can get. So I have a bunch of achievements I'm not going to see for a while on my game, but I know that I can get them because other people got them in my squad, which is
That's pretty cool. Sorry.
it's just an arbitrary designation for like a group of people. I'm just in the like single player oriented designation.
Yeah. Right. Why does she stop moving if I run into her?
Probably due to her hitbox. Like if you're probably a little bit bigger when you're moving, and you kind of probably clip into her, and that means she like detects that she can't go forward or something.
I think I remember Leroy screenshotting this location a bunch. It seems like it'd be up his street.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Where'd she go? She's over here. Something that's kind of neat and kind of annoying is that the compass in this shift to follow the
Main character's alignment.
so that the the
Oh
flat
my
plane of
God,
the compass
that's-
is the flat plane of the level.
That's cool, but also really annoying.
When it's only annoying when the camera drops down to like your level, and you can't tell. Like
Yeah.
it makes it hard to read. Oh, Jackson and Co. are doing Ghost in the Shell for their movie podcast. What troll questions can we send them?
I don't know.
Is this the best Metal Gear? I mean, like, what's-her-face fights a robot at the end of it.
I've never watched Ghost in the Shell. Never particularly struck my fancy.
I think it was the first anime I ever watched, actually. I think we watched Ghost in the Shell first. And then the final episode of Excel Saga.
I don't think... I think I watched like a third of that and I was just like, okay.
It's terrible exploitative nonsense, but that was how my friends chose to introduce me to like anime as a thing. Was here's these Japanese cartoons. There's Ghost in the Shell, and then there's this thing.
Yeah, I just got into it from like my friends having Adult Swim on. It's like, oh, they're running Full Metal Alchemist for the 40th time.
Yeah, fair enough. So, did you notice that the two Great Angels only have one wing each?
I love One-Winged Angels.
Is an actual fucking line of actual fucking dialogue in this actual fucking video game. Actually fuck off. It really was a prequel, an alternative to FF7.
Where is that probe placement?
Actually, this is far more symbolically rich than FF7's use of a one-winged angel is.
Yeah. Where the hell is this probe location?
I love that we're just pausing the action to have a discussion of theology. That is Takahashi right up the wazoo. And at least it's like vaguely Christian theology rather than brotheism. Seriously, there are some bits at the end of Xenogears Saga that are just ridiculous.
Okay, I've gone too far over. Oh, fucking Wallace Grex.
Run! Run! Man, like, Type 0 has wandering encounters on the world map that are level 99 that you can't flee from.
That's rough.
It's pretty obnoxious. I don't really understand why they're in there. Except to make you feel, like, super ridiculous on your 4th playthrough.
Let's see if I can, like, Oblivion climb this mountain.
Good luck.
Am I a horse? Survey says... no. Damn near it, though. There's no fall damage in this, which I'm glad for.
There isn't. I thought, didn't Sam like total his mech once from fall damage.
Well, that's a
on
mech.
one of my Blue Dragon streams. Ah, fair enough.
There's no fall damage.
Why would there be fall damage from mechs and not humans?
To make you to make you pay more money and not take ridiculous jumps like me jumping from the highest point I could find down to like the ocean and missing. I really need to find this fucking. Ugh. I don't know where this data probe point is supposed to be, and it's really pissing me off because this is really close to where I'm. This is really close to home, and it sucks not having all the data nav around.
Is there a cave in the cliff face somewhere?
No, but there was one that had wreckage in it that I need to come back to when I have flight, because there was no way I could wiggle my way around gravity.
Oh, this is the room that Leroy was really excited about.
Yep. Let's jump down here. Maybe. Just maybe there's something down here. There's some wreckage I haven't gotten. And oh god, those are level 40s. That's probably why I haven't gotten that wreckage, huh?
Are they actually going to show us the portrait? What's going on here? So, we've walked into the room with this portrait that Faye and Citan have both said they recognise, but apparently they're recognising it for different people? Oh! Wait a second. What? So, Faye recognised it as a portrait of somebody who looks like Ellie, and Citan recognised it as a portrait that looks like it might have been done by Faye. Fuck off!
That's... wow.
Ah, man. Stop putting time travel in your vidgams. Oh, this was the Moe Lisa picture, wasn't it?
Yep.
God damn it, Leroy.
Okay. The sun has gone down. I should be able to see where the beacon is. If there is any easy way to see it.
Faye, being an artist, manages to be even less relevant so far to this game than Beat being a photographer in Eternal Sonata. The painting is unfinished.
Am I gonna have to go through the Beast's Lair? That would suck. They're all 10, 15 levels higher than me. Whatever.
Then you probably have to go through there.
Fuck it. Whatever.
Good luck.
Some tactical dodging past monsters that are turning around. Because line of sight. Oh my god, this is a giant fucking cave! This is definitely where I need to put the thing. Holy shit.
Now we're having a flash of some sort to other characters who are... And one of them is called Lacan.
Oh man, here's some wreckage.
I like that there's no ceiling on these stairs, so I can just jump up, down them and get like 3 meters of height.
I'm glad I can just kind of skirt around the outside of this cave and not deal with. Okay, is that? No, that's a tree, not a beam of light. Oh, hell.
Sister Agnes, which one is Sister Agnes? That's just the pulpit.
Okay, that is definitely some mech jumping levels of height. I'm not gonna be able to get this.
I'm glad that mech jumping has survived like a decade and a half.
Okay. Well, I only need to do one more like story chapter to start doing my qualifications for that, so I might as well just go start.
Where the hell is the nun that I'm supposed to talk to? Because she's in none of these rooms. Ha 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 ha.
I was gonna make that joke.
I feel vindicated.
Active members. Sorry, Thug. You get to piss off for a while. Okay. Chapter 6. Oh, I need to do a friend in need. A friend in...
I think I remember Sam doing that one. Oh, apparently the town is preparing to defend itself against people coming to get the princess back. I'm not even sure she's a princess. I thought she was, but maybe not.
Oh boy. Well, that's a sure sign she's gonna get kidnapped again and the town's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah, probably. And there's a painter's house here. Possibly relevant.
A friend in need. Okay, time to go do this. Oblivia's Barbarich Desert. I definitely have a waypoint there, so...
I'm so confused.
Keegan Ridge. Barbarich Desert. There we go. Fast travel off the gamepad is really useful.
I can see how that'd be the case.
Especially since it You don't have to wait for it to load. Like, you can
Hmm.
pop open the map while the game's still loading, whatever.
Yeah. Playing Xenoblade 1 on Wii U is weird because you just have the duplicate screen on the
Yeah.
gamepad. It's like, I keep seeing movement out of the corner of my eye. Oh, yes, it's the game.
Sam wasn't kidding about, like, the whole, you rack up money pretty fast. And so far,
Until you
Yeah.
get a mech.
and need to start replacing it.
Yep.
And hopefully I will do that before the end of... Well, before I pass the fuck out, honestly.
Yeah.
You guys really saved our bacon. Now we can finally get back to work. Have our thanks. But I'm sure Lowe's as well.
Don't mention it. They're just doing their jobs. You guys have any idea where Lyle is? Or why he just up and left like that?
No idea. And even less of an idea when he'll return. I'm sure he chance to grow. Sure he is. What? Don't give me that look. I still trust him. Mostly.
Hey, I'd be pretty upset if someone forgot to restock and then left me stranded.
Actually, that was our mistake, not his. Left us dead weights behind while he finished. It's all we did.
Always. Hey, you must be.
Besides, I've been working with Lao since we were back on Earth. Troll. The only reason I ever made it into Project. Without his recommendation, well, yeah. He and Mondo worked on the Frontier Nav development team. Say, been big fans of Laos ever since. Oh, I'm Shingo, by the way, and that there is Mondo.
I had no idea you guys had such respect for Lyle. I'm sorry if it sounded like I was backing. Anyway, are you all set here now?
Oh, we should be fine. Except
What?
well, we still have a road to place. The location is swarming. That Laos the most of the fighting. By most, and all.
If that's the case, we'd be happy to escort you.
Really? Wow! It'd be an honor to work with your team, ma'am. We'll move as fast as we can. Tatsu getting finely similar vibes.
So, Satan and the character who is to Bart as Satan is to Faye, both are defectors.
We'd like to place that probe just beyond here.
Understood. We'll handle the fighting. I'll call you once the area's secure.
Man, Elma's amazing. So strong and professional and beautiful. Tatsu know how Freddy feels. No shame about being defective. Oh, thanks. I just... Wait, who are you calling a useless lump?
Aha, we have the chance to ask for some exposition.
Oh, time to fight giant crabs.
Well, you know what you do with them.
Yep.
You stand by and wait until they move out the way and you can go and get the chest.
Yeah, or topple them and light them on fire.
That also works. I was just listening to the Fantasia mini-sode this morning. Fucking memes.
Here we go. Let's see what we got.
So humans are slaves of Solaris. Well, in Solaris, humans are slaves. He is the low-level citizen, but he became the commander. Okay. This Sky City is apparently huge. That's going to be interesting when we finally get there.
Oh yeah, so I pulled open a thing I hadn't really looked at before in the menus called Soul Voices, and I've gotten a few like achievements for it. But basically, what it is like every time certain events happen, like you start a battle by like drawing either your melee or ranged weapon, or start with like an art. It'll trigger a thing, and if you get the QTE, which is basically just like press a button at the right time, you get a bonus. And I opened it up, and there are 12 set triggers with 3 possible effects on each, and 4 slots for one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different custom trigger conditions.
Good grief.
And I didn't realize how much these could do until I was like, oh, let's just look at like draw melee. You start a battle by drawing your melee weapon. You can go plus 100% damage. You can stagger, or you can get 200 TP per hit. And it's just like, okay, I need like,
That's pretty remarkable.
yeah. And when it's like, I need 1,000 TP to do any of my stuff, starting with a bunch of free stuff is really good. And if you die, if you just fucking keel over, you can have one of your effects be like, you go, I was stupid, fight back, and the target gains invincibility tier 3. It's just like, what? Okay, why would you do anything else? Like, it's... this game is so dense.
Why do we need to reserve the entire town hall to finish the exposition dump, Bart? Seriously, what the hell? I need to find the mech upgrade guy. Hang on, I have a map just off screen. Or not? Oh, there we are. Right. Ow. Okay.
And now I am in this giant desert, and there are, like, stories tall cactus heads.
Are they actually
Yes.
pokies? Oh.
Well, not heads, but, like, giant fucking cactuses. Just like, holy shit.
Wow, carved those guys like butter. That's amazing. We'll get right on a snow potato program.
We'll keep an eye on the area.
Oh god.
Things seem to be going well.
Thanks to you. We should have this baby ready to rock in just a few minutes.
Oh, that's...
Holy crap! Timing me! Gotta get out of here! What do you want? I know we can throw this thing in. How did you get away so much? No, I'm just a video still, right? Why not, guys? Oh! What are you doing? Thanks,
Don't get caught. The team state is the main priority. Understood?
That's a big monster. Oh, that's... oh! I didn't realize it was that big.
You're right there.
I mean, it's not as big as the thing that fucking murdered me the 3 times I tried to do fucking... a mandatory fight. And it just showed up at like a level 60 monster, just showed up and fucked me over.
Nice.
Time to go into overdrive. I said time to go into overdrive. 14,000 damage.
I really want to get more into the plot, actually. I feel like... Still, I feel like not a lot has happened in this game yet, even though I'm 10 hours in.
Yeah. It feels like it's kind of a slow burn. Leroy did describe it as basically a visual novel.
Yeah. There's a reason I don't play visual novels. Or many of them, anyway.
Oh, fuck me, I am so dead. Jesus. Please stop. Just stop. Overdrive. Overdrive is really fucking good. Wow, who would have fucking thought?
Where am I supposed to go next? Oh, the town hall. I just come out with that one. And I want to go up here. This one.
Get invincible, kill that fucker, Dad. Do it.
Oh!
Oh my god, just like chip damage. Please kill it. 10 seconds. Yes!
You survived.
I didn't, but my team did, and that means I win.
Jolly good. Oh dear. This protagonist inadvertently comparing the anime bullshit twist that just happened to other, even less plausible anime bullshit twists. That's pretty good.
Yes, we're all good now. We'll finish recalibration and then head back.
All right, move out. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna go get that wreckage that I see on my minimap and then head back.
Nom 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 wreckage.
If I even can, I have no idea where it is. It might be up, and I can't go too far up. Actually, Rooney Cavern! I have discovered a cave. Time to climb.
Oh, hey!
Oh, and the wreckage is in here, I guess. Oh, it's a metal box, and I can pick it up. I really like the desert continent in this game.
Is it nice and wide open? Because my impression of the kind of more European continent is that the space is very broken up with cliffs.
Yeah, it's very wide. There are a few cliffs, and like there's a place called King's Falls that's just like a giant set of waterfalls.
Nice.
But yeah, it's very, very rocky and a lot of wide open desert plains.
Well, I mean, the desert is one of the best locations in Zesty as well, just in terms of being just in terms of the kind of almost world mappy spaces.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the desert in FF15. From like the 7-8-year-old trailers that I remember.
Yeah, the desert with the road that you follow and get lost because it's a desert road. And then you just have to end up getting out and walking because you can't find any fucking gas stations.
No, that bit is that's still well. If the demo is actually going to be in the game, that's before the demo, and the demo's green.
Where is it? There it is. I don't know what to call it, but I really need to write something on like RPGs and long form stories doing like I think working term is probably going to be like plot pivot because it kind of plants its foot and just does something to either go in a different direction or just double down with a flourish. And
Yeah. You sometimes see that, like, you mean like early on to kind of kick things into motion?
yeah,
or...
like there's always the premise and then like a little bit of time for that premise to develop and then something else happens and that catalyst is what I want to establish is pretty important in a formula for a narrative, long form narrative. And Xenoblade X did that pretty well.
And sometimes in like fiction writing, that's what they mean by hook.
Yeah, but it's a bit longer.
And hook has other meanings as well.
Yeah, a lot of people see the hook as like, why should I play this in like the first hour? And I think that's fair, and that's why I want to define it as something that either drives the knife deeper or surprises you. And
pulls the knife out and sticks it in somewhere else. Twist it a bit.
Like that would be Luke in Abyss, blowing up Axarius, or like the end of the first world
like
of like where you find out what Colette's journey is really about in Symphonia.
That's often the end of Act 1 twist, because the end of Act 1 in a 3-act structure is you think you've solved the initial problem, and what you actually do is you discover that the initial problem is a sub-problem of a much bigger issue.
And often it comes, like for PlayStation 1 games, that usually comes at the end of the first disc.
Yeah.
My brain just decided that it wants to call that the disc 1 home run. So maybe we'll go with that.
Yeah, could be. I don't know enough about baseball to know when home runs are likely to be scored, so...
Home runs are just something to get your attention because it doesn't really happen all that often.
Yeah. Right.
I am getting enough like magic mineral that I basically have to empty my pockets every time I get any, so that I don't waste a bunch.
That's alright.
Just pour a bunch into different arms manufacturers because whatever. Alright. New orders. There we go. Actually, oh, no, I'm still Blade 5.
Why are you talking about a toy you played with as a child, Bart? Oh my god.
Oh, I have to survey 20% of Noctilum. What the fuck? 17.
Happy mapping.
17% so far. Which means I need to get one of these other zillion fucking points. Ugh. I don't really mind having to go out and find, like, map the world. I just kind of get tired of trying to figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to get to certain places. Because there
That's the, yeah.
are certain points that you need to get to in order to install the data probes. And some of them are kind of hidden. But hey, I get to explore the giant blue-green forest full of mushrooms that are roughly the size of skyscrapers and mountains. So,
That's pretty cool. Oh, this battle map. Holy crap. Sometimes this is properly a PS1 game. Ye gods.
it looks like a better kind of old than you'd expect, but it still has very raw old moments.
Yeah, like, it's better than the RTS bit in FF7 at least.
Yeah.
I mean, few things aren't, but...
Time to climb this giant tree trunk. I feel like this works better for Xenoblade Chronicles X, like the whole exploration thing, than its predecessor, because in the original it was largely already charted territory, and you were just kind of filling out your personal map. But this is actually necessary.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like there was much to actually find in the world either. Like there were what's-it deposits, but that was about it.
Yeah.
And they were visible from miles off because they glowed like searchlights.
Yep. But this world is properly fucking huge.
Hmm.
I found it.
God, I want to play it, even though I know I won't actually enjoy it.
You might. I'm enjoying it.
But I hate how the first one plays.
It doesn't quite play like that.
Maybe.
I found the memoranium deposit. Where's the glowy? There's the glowy.
Where's the shiny?
The giant fucking laser coming out of the ground telling me where to put the data probe. This game is a lot more hectic with like the combat than the original, and it's good, but it takes some getting used to, even if you're familiar with the original. And it just kind of throws you at the game like it's gonna assume you've played the original. So
Really? That's a bit disappointing.
yeah, I feel like when people said it wants you to read the manual, it's just like either read the manual or have some working knowledge of how the first game played and then extrapolate. Because I haven't really had to look anything up in the manual. I just kind of intuited stuff from the UI design and also my past experience with the game. Oh, this is an ugly looking tree, and I can't even harvest it because it's level 4 biology, and I only have level 1.
I'm literally falling asleep at the moment because I got bugger all sleep last night. And I'm just paging through text while we labour the discussion of this strategy that's basically, we're going to do a pincer attack! And a diversion, and hope that the other country attacks at the same time.
Yep, gotta love that prayer as part of part of a strategy.
Pretty much. I mean, the other country is at war and will pounce on any weakness, so it's not that out of the question.
Oh, good. While I was exploring, I accidentally did a quest. Because I just needed to gather stuff. I kind of appreciate that this game doesn't pause when you open up the menu. Like, you have to actually go into specific sub-menus to get the game to actually pause. And normally I'd be super mad at that, but it lets me check, like, the weather and my levels and stats and stuff while still moving.
While running around.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a better way of doing it than Type Zeros, which just doesn't pause unless you actually go into pause mode, because it's a mobile game. Portable game.
It's a portable multiplayer game.
Well, except that it's not multiplayer.
Not anymore, when it was ported.
Yeah. Was it multiplayer originally?
As far as I know.
That explains a few things.
Like a lot of the PSP... Like, Birth by Sleep has a multiplayer mode. It's an arena thing where you just go do missions with your friends. But they took it out for...
It's cool.
For the HD remix, yeah.
Home console.
Which is a shame. If they wanted to get NetPlay to work, it would have been pretty cool. Oh boy. Why are there 3 probe points and 3 adjacent hexagons? Seems a little... Like, these are supposed to be placed intelligently as to not waste things by overlapping zones. Why are they right next to each other? Whatever. God, these mountains are big. Intelligent... intelligent, I don't even have the word for it because I've been up so long. I make good note of things. Like, these mountains are big.
Yep. Criticism, I think, is the word you were looking for.
Yeah, criticism. Okay. That's a very thin ledge. Yep, that's a bridge. Cool. Blood Pond, Basin, and Blackback Bridge. The fucking prom.
Blood Pond Basin.
Yep.
That's a name.
Yeah. Time to see if I can find the way into that sector. Oh, level 4 mechanical. Ooh, G6.
Why are we so useful in this game? We're just two schmucks. Well, okay, a schmuck and Satan, who actually isn't a schmuck, but has basically been a schmuck since the start of the game.
He is elected to be a schmuck.
He has somewhat elected to be a schmuck. Voluntary schmuckness.
Okay. Those are giant tentacles coming out of the ground, and I can't tell if those are a plant or something I want to desperately stay away from.
They might be a plant you want to desperately stay away from. In fairness.
The two categories are not mutually exclusive, I will admit. Oh, I found the other probe location. Nope, this is one I've already been to. Bleh.
Right. I can apparently now go save and take a break and make some food. Because I'm really hungry again. This is the thing that happens when I stream for 2 hours, I guess. Is this the shop? The save point is in the shop, not the inn, for some reason.
Weird.
Or my house. Yep. But